Tuesday, everyone, and also happy Black History Month. I am truly honored to celebrate Black History Month with everyone here in our community and beyond. And I'm especially delighted that I have the opportunity to recognize some really outstanding individuals in our community whose work and impact not only is a testament to the legacy of the contributions of African Americans here in the Southern Tier, not just simply during Black History Month, but beyond. The work that they do has and continues to improve the lives of many folks. And so just a quick little background about Black History Month. You know, as a recognized Heritage Month starting in 1976 as a month-long celebration, and one of the remarks I often share is that it is important that we acknowledge the diverse cultures that we have in our communities and the contributions that they make to our society overall. And so thinking about Black History Month and the continued story of Black and African Americans here in this country, it is a legacy most certainly of resilience, brilliance, and perseverance, and most certainly in the founding of this nation. And so the Southern Tier is no exception to that. I'm born and raised here in Binghamton, and I'm often remarking about the rich legacy that exists right here in the Southern Tier as it pertains to I call cultural turning stones in our national story. So in this building where we are, right adjacent is City Hall. City Hall was a stop along the Underground Railroad. So again, in understanding that history, that legacy of, you know, the enslavement of African Americans, and knowing that we're standing in an area that served as an entryway to freedom for many Black families, it's important for our community to know that. We also, in recent years, through the establishment of the Freedom Trail, through the Harriet Tubman Center, again, it's important that we lift up our history and take those lessons learned and apply them in the present and future, so that ultimately we can have a better quality of life from birth, regardless of your background. And so it is important to lift up the Southern Tier's place in the national American history story, and not just simply during Black History Month, but also every day. And so in bearing that history in mind, I really wanted to acknowledge these trailblazers here in our community that are outstanding leaders that are making history every day. And so I want to present some official awards. So that's the other part of the job that I also enjoy, is that we get to acknowledge folks, not just also give money. But I really believe it's important to give people their literal and figurative flowers, because a lot of times the work that these leaders do, they do it not seeking notoriety. They don't do it seeking, you know, applause, gratitude. They do it because they genuinely care, and they really are committed to making our community better. And so with that in mind, I'm delighted to bring up our first honoree. I'm going to give you a little more background about him, Mr. Tyrone Muse. So I met Ty when he first came here, well over 10 plus years ago. We won't give the exact amount of time, but y'all can do the math. Anyway, and so from the very first day, you know, in meeting with Ty, connecting with him, you know, one of the things that impressed me the most is not only his own story in rising in leadership, but he continues to demonstrate it every day, his commitment through the financial industry, financial institutions, and making sure that people are financially secure, but also valued and included. And so his leadership, his approach to the financial industry really centering on the needs of the community. His vision, no pun intended, but kind of, for that, and community engagement is just, it's truly outstanding. And so Ty is the visionary leader and president and CEO of Vision's Federal Credit Union. And under his guidance, Vision serves over 248,000 members across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York, and has a dedicated team of more than 800 employees in 56 branches. Over the first 10 years of his tenure as CEO, Ty and his team have remarkably grown Vision's assets by $2.3 billion. His leadership not only is reflected in financial growth, but also in the positive culture that he cultivates with customers and also his team. And I have witnessed this many, many times, and that's why he has a great number of employees that still love working there. His outstanding leadership, Ty has received a number of awards. I'll just lift up a few. The 2019 Civic Leader of the Year Award from the Greater Binghamton Chamber of Commerce, the 2018 Distinguished Citizen Award from the Boy Scouts of America in Broome County. He's also been inducted into the CUES Hall of Fame and has received the Peter Creer Lifetime Award in 22. All of these things and many more accolades I know Ty continues to acquire are just testaments to his exceptional contributions. He continues to play a role in the economic growth and development here in the Southern Tier. His experience in financial services is extensive. Again, he has been in roles in places such as PricewaterhouseCoopers, Goldman Sachs, many others. He brings a significant wealth of knowledge and expertise to this role. He is also certified as a public accountant, which again underscores his competence and dedication. I want to lift up Ty's community service. I also want to lift up that Ty is the first African American CEO of Vision's Federal Credit Union as well, which is important. You know, it is important that we acknowledge not only contributions of great Black leaders in our country and our communities past, but also in the present. And so Ty continues that with his, I swear I see Ty at a whole bunch of community events, probably more than me, where he is doing free track club for students in the Triple Cities Running Club. He does a lot of things, you know, committed to youth development and healthy lifestyles. He serves on a number of advisory councils and boards. All these things just lift up the great work that Mr. Tyrone Muse has. I also often joke with him that him and my father literally have the same name. And so, but that's not the reason why I'm giving him the award. But, you know, again, I want to thank you, Ty, for not only your past contributions, but your continued commitment to making not only the Southern Tier, making our state, our communities overall a much better place. Your commitment and compassion to our community and everyone, I really appreciate you, not just during Black History Month, but overall. And so I am proud to present to you, this is a Commendation Award from the New York State Senate. And Commendation Awards are awards that are given to members of our community who have exemplary community service. They contribute in a multitude of ways that we would like to commendate as the state of New York. And so, and you get this very fancy award that has your name in it in the middle of New York State and a pin. So I want to have everyone join me in congratulating Mr. Tyrone Muse as the 2024 New York State Senate Commendation Award honoree. So I'll give this to you, and you get a pin. It's a heavy pin too.
Thank you.
Yes, and then, is it okay, Ty, to say, yep, if you want to say a couple of words?
Absolutely. Thank you very, very much, Senator Webb. I too remember the first time I had a chance to meet you and you began your civic duties, and as you're looking for the role to make an impact, that's the thing I remember most, is that she just really wanted to make an impact, so I'm super proud of you. I usually duck awards. You probably don't believe that because it seems like I'm always getting one, but I actually try to duck them. But getting one from a peer, someone I definitely appreciate and value, knowing how almost thankless that sometimes your job is. You hear a lot more of the complaints than all the opportunities to praise you and salute you. I thought it was important to come today just so you could hear that from me. We're proud of you. This is proud of you. That's why Tim's here as well. We wanted to make sure you have that connection. I also wanted to celebrate Black History Month in the way that you wanted to do it. I guess I'm getting past the everything starts with slavery. I want to start talking about all the good things we're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at what these individuals are doing and how they're impacting the future communities, that's where the real story was. The old part, that's part of the legacy, that's where we started, but the future is going to be so much longer and so much brighter. So I commend you for celebrating us. I take the opportunity, this will make it into my wall
Okay.
in my office, so you will see it when you visit, and we're thankful that you do. But keep doing this work. We appreciate you, Senator, and thank you for being a voice for us up there in Albany, which I know is hard to be that voice when we're so far from home. I see a lot of bright things for this community. It's hard to believe, but I've been doing this for almost 11 years. I'm going to do it for at least 9 more. And this is home to me, my adopted town, so thank you.
And keeping in the theme of legacy, again, no pun intended, our next honoree is Amos Malone, owner of Legacy. The Legacy is a small business. It's a pioneering venture by RDM Enterprises that has made significant strides in our community. My first time meeting Amos and his family was a couple of years ago. A mutual friend of ours, Dr. Leslyn McBean Claiborne, as I was, on the proverbial trail, if you will, in connecting with leaders across the district. One of the places that Dr. Leslyn McBean Claiborne told me about was the Legacy. And so she's like, you have to come to the Legacy, and it's a restaurant. And I was like, sure, food and conversation, sign me up, of course. And if I would have known then what I know now, not only did I have good food, but incredible conversation and continued support, and this groundbreaking business that exists in Tompkins County under the leadership of Mr. Malone, also Dr. Sybil M. Sloan, Tanisha Malone, and Mona Smiley has not only made history as the first Black-owned business at the Ithaca Tompkins International Airport, but is also a symbol of diversity, entrepreneurship, and culinary excellence. And so when I said, when I was going to have food at the Legacy, I was surprised when I'm going to the airport. Like, that's not a usual experience that, when people say have dinner, it's like, sure, at the airport. And the fact that this amazing organization is situated at the airport, and when you think about the contributions that airports make and also the role that they play in our communities overall, it's important that we support small businesses, and it's often rare that you see Black-owned or minority-owned businesses in these spaces that are also family-owned, and they have a rich legacy of family and culinary excellence in this family, whether it's recipes, one which I know I'm never going to get, but that have been passed down from generation to generation, whether it's menus that lift up the legacy of their family, just a warm, welcoming environment. They really redefine the culinary experience that you think you would have at an airport, where it's like you just grab and go. They really treat everyone like family that comes through the door, and they are operating all the time. They're also committed to excellence. Their operating hours cater to the needs of the airport's diverse clientele. So whether it is an early breakfast or a late dinner, Anyone that comes through, they are welcomed with open arms and have an incredible meal. I can attest to, and I even brought my family to co-sign, and they are tough critics, I will say. But the dedication is truly a testament to Mr. Malone and the whole ARDM Enterprises team. Mr. Malone, his impact with Legacy goes beyond just where they are stationed at the airport. They have products such as some of that sauce. Now, in certain circles, that can mean a number of things, but in this particular instance, it's a signature flavor that has reached communities and celebrities across the United States. This innovative spirit highlights the company's commitment to excellence and creativity in every venture. As I said, they're not only doing things in the culinary arena, they also have a nonprofit called Reaching Beyond Me Incorporated, which underscores a deep commitment that this family and this team has to community development and empowerment. They provide holistic approaches to business development, where success is not just measured in the amount of money that is made, but the positive impact that is made on the community and individuals at the same time. So I want to recognize Mr. Malone and ARDM Enterprises for their dreams of making the legacy a reality, their determination to break new ground. They serve, in my very humble opinion, as a beacon of inspiration to other small businesses, not just simply MWBEs, but small businesses around the power of perseverance. And so I am thrilled to recognize the legacy of Mr. Malone with the Empire Award from the New York State Senate. And so the Empire Award is an award that comes from the State Senate that specifically lifts up small businesses who have made an impact in our community and in our state. And this is the highest honor that I get to bestow on a business or organization within our district. And so with that, I proudly present the legacy with the 2024 New York State Senate Empire Award in recognizing your outstanding contributions and dedication to the growth, prosperity, and betterment of our community in New York State.
Thank you, certainly to Senator Webb for all of her groundbreaking efforts. And I remember when she came through the first time, we were so excited. Someone was running for the Senate and we were just excited. And then when she came in and she was like, I want some sweet tea. I was like, okay, this is good. We're off to a good start here. But I would not have been able to do it without my family, my brother Danny here, Dr. Sloan, and Nisha. And ARDM actually stands for Another Real Dream Manifested. And that's what we wanted to do, seeing how we have such a rich history, family history, to continue my father's legacy. I don't want to take up all the time because I want them to be able to just say something, hello, or anything, but we definitely want to continue on the track, you know, to be pioneers and go beyond and reach, like the organization is reaching beyond me, to help someone else, to just be there for someone else, maybe a little less fortunate, because we never know when it could be us. And so the ARDM, Another Real Dream Manifested. I am so honored. I am super humbled. I'm not gonna cry because there's too many cameras, but it's all right. And we certainly thank you, because God has certainly brought us a long way, and we know that He will continue to lead us on. And to be standing here, as I said, is such an honor. And I'm gonna back away from the mic. Say anything? Dr. Sloan, somebody?
Well, I'm always gonna say something, because God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. I may be in a state legislative building, but this had not happened or manifested had it not been for God's goodness and His grace towards us. And we are grateful, and the entire joy of coming from the South to come and celebrate this moment with my lifelong friend of over 35 years. We started Autumn in October 2015. With being Another Real Dream Manifested, and we started with construction because of a lady named Dr. Washington who said, Amos, I'm gonna do business with you, but I wanna do business the right way. And we started in October 2015, and when the opportunity came to not only demonstrate what we can do with our hands outside, but to show what we could do with our hands and our heart inside, we took the opportunity to apply for the contract at the airport. In September 2021, we gained it, so we are moving forward, and we ask each of you, as we rebrand and re-celebrate the entry into the airport, that you all join us.
Okay, and last and most certainly not least, Brenda Cave James. So I'm probably going to date myself, but not too much. My connection to Brenda goes back decades. I won't say how many. But most certainly, you know, with her, with my family in this community, you know, I'm a proud product of the Southern Tier, and I wanted to recognize Brenda Cave James because when you talk about legacy and history and also where you're going, you also need to lift up the arts and the storytellers, the folks that it's the oral traditions, right? And that is just as important as written publications. It's the oral tradition. And so Brenda is a creative in so many ways. She uses her talents, her gift. She has dedicated her life to service, to education, to the preservation of our local history as African Americans in Broome County, and continues to serve as a beacon of inspiration and commitment. She has devoted countless years to researching and preserving the rich tapestry of our community's history here in Broome County, with a special focus on the narratives of the Underground Railroad and the resilience it represents. She is a historian, she is an artist, she is a poet, an educator that uses, like I said, this woman has so much talent, and she uses her talent to create treasures for many folks in our communities that leave an indelible mark on not only our collective understanding, but our experience, and pushes us to aspire to be greater. She also is inspiring the next generation. She does these educational programs to help our youth understand the experiences of the Middle Passage, but also what's happening in real time in the present, to understand how can we be better, because we know we're still dealing with the ongoing challenges of racism still in 2024 in the many ways that it shows up. And so we know that education is a powerful tool that can not only provide opportunities for economic advancement, but also it's a way for us to be grounded and centered in each other and lifting up our shared humanity and need for dignity and respect. And so she works to not only tell history, but tell it in ways where it's creative, not revisionist, to be clear, but to tell history in a way that whether you are someone that identifies as African American or any other cultural identity, that you can understand what was happening, because as I said, all of our paths are connected. And so she has been doing events at our local library here in Broome County that focus on history through a compelling story, as an example of Claude and Becky Fawcett. She also uses her innovative approach. I have been at Binghamton University, and Brenda was one of the folks responsible for curating the museum exhibit that was lifting up African American artists throughout the U.S. History in terms of folks that have made contributions, developing and reciting poems. She also, beyond just doing research, she really tries to leverage media as a platform for cultural enrichment, which helps us in our growth. She's the host of Poetry in Commotion, which is a radio show that blends poetry, history, music, and creates a dynamic space for celebrating our shared heritage. My connection to Brenda goes way back. She also is a spiritual person and is connected to Trinity AME Zion Church, which is the first Black church in our area. And her involvement with the church and commitment to preserving our cultural and spiritual heritage is very important and significant. I want to lift up Brenda because, again, she's one of those folks that when you call her, she will make herself available to educate, to create joy, to celebrate and honor. So it's not all just serious business. It's most certainly, she really does this with her heart, this work. And so I want to give Brenda Cave James, I'm surprised her other half ain't taking pictures because he's always on it. I'm just messing. I know you're not out there. I'm just messing with you. Yes. The other half in the family. I want to present you, Brenda, with the New York State Senate Commendation Award for your contributions to us here in the Southern Tier in the great state of New York. So this is for you and Tim.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Don't give a poet a microphone.
I knew something was coming.
But thank you. I am so honored. I will say this. I'm not comfortable with saying I'm a historian. I love history, but I didn't go to school for it, so I don't know if I should be called a historian. I guess in my own right I am. But
Yes.
thank you. I am so honored for this. Thank you, Senator Webb, for this and the committee. And I give thanks also to those I love to speak about, names known and unknown, to the elders, to those who came before, who lived and died and endured in between, who mattered. From the Underground Railroad freedom finders and to my early AME Zion Church, the African Methodist Church, Trinity here in Binghamton. AME Zion was on the very forefront of the anti-slavery movement right here in Binghamton. And to my father, who was during World War II, part of the 555, the Triple Nickel Black Paratroopers, and to a great jazz pianist, my uncle Andrew Johnson, who in the 1930s played jazz here all over the place, Triple Cities, Elmira, Binghamton, Ithaca, brought a lot of money and patrons into establishments where they could not even stay overnight or rest in. And because of that segregation then back in the day here, how my grandmother, Margaret Cave, and so many other enterprising Black women and men from early Susquehanna Street, where there were thriving small businesses and home ownerships going on before that area was destroyed and decimated in the name of progress and urban renewal. Because folks coming to town could not stay in the white establishments. There were beds and breakfast places, and my grandmother you would go to her house for a good plate of food and a cocktail. Around the corner, them and so-and-so's for bed and breakfast. And it was a different place, and forever changed. So all that to say, Black history is American history. The good, the beautiful, and the tragic. And I will, as God gives me breath, talk about it to whomever will listen, and to uplift and always honor those who came before. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So as we close, again, I just want to thank all of you for making time to be here. But for, again, you all do, as I say, the good work every single day in ways in which you utilize your time, your talent, your treasure, and you share it with all of us here in the Southern Tier and in the state. And so again, I felt it was important as we honor Black History Month and continue to lift up still present day contributions of African Americans to our experiences here in the Southern Tier in the state. I really felt it's important that we do this not just during Black History Month but beyond. But as someone who has also had to make breakthroughs in government, being the first Black person to ever hold a seat on Binghamton City Council, and that's in Binghamton's history, and now being in the Senate, being the first African American to ever represent our area in the state Senate in our state's history. I know that all of us who are here, who are firsts in many ways, do not do it because you want to be the first. We do it because we understand the value and understand that we all do better when we all do better. And so we most certainly do not intend to be the last. It is also a call to action, a collective community call to action, that we continue to work diligently to center the need for human dignity and respect. And it requires us to also, in doing that, recognize contributions that are being made. So thank you all so much for being here and for